Hello, class. I'm so excited to be here today without a mask on because I'm all alone to talk to you about what I want to teach you about writing today. So as writers, we've practiced a lot of things. And if you remember, I reminded you that writers work hard to build up their stamina. Today, I want to teach you something new about writers. And that is that when writers write stories that are true stories, they tell the stories in a sequence. In other words, in order. And not just as a list of events, like I went to the beach and then I went to supper and then I went to bed and then I woke up. I do know the order of the story in that, but what I want us to practice today is really slowing down the most important parts. So I'm going to model by telling you a little about a story I haven't necessarily told you about before. It's a story about 2 summers ago when I went to California with a friend and we visited an aquarium. Now, what I want you to notice is that I'm going to use a list of time words and phrases to help me really slow down the story. I'll be passing out one of these to you. I'm going to cut it up in a little bit, and what I want you to do is take this list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 phrases that you could start a sentence with talking about when something happened, and try to choose 3 or maybe 4, you don't have to do more than that, and use them to describe the most important moments in your story. Okay, so here's what I mean. A couple of summers ago, I went to California and I visited an aquarium. And I had a really good time, but if I'm going to write a small moment story about that, I need to really zoom in on one of the things that happened while I was there. And one of the things that I really remember is getting dizzy in one of the rooms. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slow down my thinking because this is revising. I'm going to look at some of these words, and I'm going to start by telling you about the night before. Okay, so the night before we went to the aquarium, I wasn't actually feeling very happy because I didn't think that I liked aquariums. That morning, I was still feeling the same. I was going because my 2 friends wanted to go, but I wasn't excited. Notice, I've just used 2 phrases to talk about the order of the story, the night before and that morning. Now I'm going to use this one, while I was, to talk about sort of the key moment in the story. While I was at the aquarium, looking at a giant fish tank that went in a circle, I got really dizzy, like motion sick. That's it. That's all I want to teach you for today, is that when you slow down your story and think about things, the most important things, and what happened first and before that, or maybe the night before, it'll help you tell a better story. So right now, please teach your neighbor what we are learning about today. Teach. If I were walking around, which I'm not because you're not really here, but when I'm walking around and you're watching this lesson, I hope I'm going to hear people putting themselves in their story and thinking about the most important part of that story and slowing it down and telling us when some of the most important parts happened. After this, I'm going to ask you to actually write this down in your writer's notebook. Good luck.